Welcome, welcome, my lovely to Bachelorette recap and review. Bachelorette season 20, episode 5. Why is this season moving so fast, guys?
It is moving
Season is moving
extremely
fast,
fast.
but this episode is very slow.
I liked it though. I did like it.
And yeah, it wasn't a bad episode. It just was a little slow. And I'm also, in some respects, I'm like, yeah, it's moving fast, but maybe that's a good thing because I keep getting sent spoilers, and I don't want to know
Really?
spoilers. No, well, people keep posting like spoilers. I'm like, I don't want spoilers. Like, so I don't want
I
to.
haven't seen any spoilers.
I hadn't seen any spoilers, but I do follow a lot of content creators, so they're like
Okay.
posting stuff, and I was like, I don't want to know. Can, like, 3 weeks? Can you leave me alone for
Thank
3?
you for 3 weeks. Yes, it's going by quick. It's not like it's drawn out. Like give us some
Yeah.
time.
No, so yeah, so I'm worried that, like, I don't want to know who she ends up with. I
Me
want to
neither.
know as we go along. I want to enjoy this season and be surprised, even if it makes me upset with who she
Yeah,
picks.
me too. Me too.
um,
I
so
really hope I'm not upset though.
yeah. So how are you, Miss TJ?
I was doing okay. I was on a little mini vacay this week and got back Wednesday night. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Like,
The
I know the
question is, how
feeling.
are you?
I'm much better. I much better. I had an asthma attack on Monday. Don't know why. Don't know what triggered it, but I
That's
am much
me.
better. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So, but we're here, and that's, just thank God for that.
Yes, thank
Um,
God for that.
so the episode does begin with the cast ending up
Oh, hold on,
in.
hold on, hold on. I want to say your shirt is perfect for
Oh, yeah,
today.
my shirt
Okay.
is. Oh wait, or Princess Tiana shirt. But the episode starts with the cast in New Orleans, NOLA, which you know that is where the Princess and the Frog takes place, and Charity, does say that it's super romantic. The food is amazing,
Amazing.
and they hit you with the guys are hitting you with the saying, "Let the good times roll." Um, and we get some items from Tanner saying the architecture is beautiful and just a romantic setting. Joey says he is falling for Charity. Danton says he wants to make his time intentional with her.
Mm-hmm.
And Charity does say it's her experience, but at the end of the day, she's gonna have to choose 4 people. I'm like, 4 people already? Oh my god! And it's because next week is hometowns, like
Hometown.
hometowns.
That came so quick. I
So,
promise you that came quick.
so quick. Um.
Hey,
Oh,
Taboo.
hey Taboo, how are you? um. Yeah. So it's going like lightning at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And she says she has 4 incredible dates planned for these 6 people, and it's like, oh, how's this gonna work?
Hello.
And we do hear from Joey again that he loves the 5. It's what he envisioned. Sean says, I just want a one-on-one, and this is basically his
Bad.
theme.
Okay. Sean wants a one-on-one. Bad.
Yeah,
I will not be ignored. Somebody give me a one-on-one.
that's the theme of Sean for this episode. I
Yes.
just want a one-on-one.
How am I gonna take her home and we ain't had a one-on-one?
Yes, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Based on your daddy's tweets, dude, you was never taking her home. Mm.
Ooh, where has Daddy been tweeting? He seems
He,
like he a 45 supporter, like he a little.
I think his father's a politician in upstate New York.
Oh,
Yeah. So
He always came across as disingenuous to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I was like, you was never bringing Charity home to meet Daddy.
He want to be on the
So
TV.
correct.
Mhm.
Um, and Charity does do have them do. Oh wait, no. Tanner says he's super excited to see Charity. Charity does have them do a cheers, um, to continue to develop relationship, and that's also I feel the theme for this episode is a lot of their relationships are just still building, and
Right.
how each man reacts, creates, and responds to the building relationship in the time frame that they are given in this episode is particularly like important,
Right.
especially when it comes to Charity and what she needs to move forward.
Right.
So we have Aaron. Aaron says that he lived in NOLA for 7 years and wants to show Charity around the city. So he wants that one-on-one date too.
Bad. He wanted bad
Bad
too.
too. Bad too. And Charity hasn't been in a long time, she says. Um, but she's not just there to hang out with the guys and introduce the new city. And so this is what the third or fourth city they have been in the United States.
Hmm.
So they went to
Well, they were in Los
Oceanside,
Angeles, right?
California.
It started out in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, they started off in LA and then they went to Oceanside, California. Then they went to
Washington.
Washington, and now they are in the South, which we know that Charity is from Georgia,
Right.
so she's a Southern girl. So this place is probably as close to her way of living as you're probably going to get.
Right.
And but she says she's not there to hang out. There is going to be a date today, and it's happening right now.
Right now.
And she says, "Joey, will you go with me on this date?" And he says, "Sure will." And here's our ride right now. A horse and carriage just pulls up
I
and
love horse and
ready to
carriage
take us back.
rides.
I'm trying to think if I've ever been on one. I don't think I have.
Really? Okay.
No,
I love
I've never
them.
been.
I love them.
Yeah. Um, so, maybe in the future.
Yeah.
So they're going to take a carriage ride around the town, and they do leave, and Sean is like, I'm sad. Also, the theme of Sean for this episode.
Sean says, "Can I get another drink?"
And
And
Charity and
Aaron
Joey.
is mad. Aaron
Oh,
is mad. Sean is sad, but Aaron looks
Aaron's
very
pissed
aggravated.
because this is his city. He's
Yeah.
supposed to be showing her around. But hold up, Charity and Joey, they excited. They don't look back. They like bye
No.
and off the
Hmm.
carriage ride. But Aaron says, I would have liked to show her around on the horse. If everything works out, he'll be getting a rose and a straight ticket to hometown. And Sean says, we haven't had a one-on-one. And Tanner says, I feel overlooked. It's
Right.
been 5 weeks. So we do get this Jade from Charity, and I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not a fan. I'm
You
not a
know what
fan.
I'm
No, there's something about Charity and Joey that is missing for me.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Is it the fact that you don't know
and
if Joey is completely being himself, or like is he being genuine? Is this real? Because he's like, I feel like I'm with my girlfriend and stuff. Do you really believe it?
I believe he believes it. I
Okay.
think he believes it. I will tell you, we're going to get to the nighttime date. I don't like his answers in that nighttime date.
Neither did I.
But people were raving over it
And she
on
ate it up.
Twitter, and
Hmm.
she ate it up. And I thought it was inadequate. I did not
Me too.
appreciate it. I like no. Um,
And I
but
think that's what's kind of confusing. I've heard some people say that they feel like in some instances, Charity or say she's not getting enough from a person and they
mhm,
understand it. But then in other cases, if she likes somebody and they don't give her enough, she ignores it. Like like if she feels a certain type of way, they're still giving you the same BS answers that that other person was giving you, but
Yeah.
because you kind of like them or attracted to them, you're ignoring the sign. You know.
Yes. Yeah. I kind of felt that way in this episode. To me, the only person that I feel like is right on, not even that. I will say connection wise, the only person that I feel is right on target is Dante.
Yes.
Right?
Girl, I feel like this is their love story. Like every episode, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is
And it
supposed to
doesn't
be a
ever feel
wedding.
like editing. It doesn't ever feel like editing. It feels like
No.
their love story. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only person, the only other person that I feel like, while it doesn't necessarily reflect their connection, I also understand his thought process, which is Xavier. Because while I do think they both see the connection. I think she
Hmm.
wants him to be a little bit quicker of like, I'm falling in love with you, and he's like, I'm not there yet, but I'm
Hmm.
gonna I'm gonna do everything I can to get there yet, and I don't want to miss out on what I think is possible for us. And I feel like in a 5 week experience, that's actually not something that I think is like out of the ordinary, right?
Right. 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 Right.
Especially if they only had one date, one on
Right.
date,
Right.
one on one date, right?
Hmm.
So, but with Joey, I don't know what it is that's missing for me, because she's saying all the right things, he's saying all the right things. Just something about their connection is off for me.
Hmm. Me too.
Yeah. So we do see them like just walking around, and he's like, he is Dabu says the fact that hometowns already makes me pessimistic. Engagement will last to Russ. Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know. I think it could with the right person. People meet each other in 6 weeks and get married and stay together
Yeah.
forever.
Hello.
But
Yep.
it has to be the right person. That is
Person.
what I'm concerned about. Like, it can work if you pick the right person. It can. It can.
Yes.
Um, and I don't feel like this season, like even in Michelle's season, I felt like they did stupid, crazy bullshit that
Yes.
like fucked up her connections, and like you could tell the producers wanted a certain person to win.
Yeah, and then they had them do more group dates and more stuff to like, get camera time and to make this more
Yeah, and
funny and catchy.
yeah,
But I really feel like this season, because it's also sped up, but I do feel like it's really, really based on her connections. Like all you see is her trying to get these connections and them having meaningful dates. And so,
yeah. That's what I feel like is the difference that I'm seeing based on the other seasons that I've watched, where I do know it's not worked out.
mhm,
Uh, I feel like that's the difference. The difference is that I feel like they're genuinely giving her men a shot. We had
right.
less men come in. We had really good quality men when you went down to it.
Yes.
Um, I really do think that the men that she has, is good potential for her to find somebody
Yes.
and be with that person.
Yes, and even though like Tanner's not for her or anything, I still
Hmm.
think he's a good guy. Like, you know what I mean? When I
Yes,
assess the situation, I'm like, that's still a good man. You
yeah,
know?
and even what she says to him when, we'll talk about it when they let him go. I do think that he, with more time,
Right,
there it would have been a possibility.
right.
It would have been a possibility. So, um, uh, Joey says, see, they feel great. They're excited to explore this. He's excited to explore the city with Charity. He's never been here. Just the historic qualities of the city. He's excited to explore. Charity says she is a history buff, um, and these are the words she's using. She's like, with Joey, there's a strong connection. She's envisioning life with him. Um, It's super easy,
Mhm.
and it's always fun with Joey.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was also her thing with Brayden. Like, Brayden's fun. It's so like the connections there is super easy. It like I could see life outside. Like, I feel like she's using the same words.
Yeah, because also it's like y'all have a connection, but it's still a surface level. See, when
That's how I
you
feel.
get below the surface, stuff ain't always gonna be fun because we got to get to the nitty gritty and we got to figure out, what's going on. And
Mhm.
if we got a connection and we got to go heart to heart, we got to talk about some things, got to lay some
Right.
things out here. So it might not come across as fun, but it's authentic. And we're really getting below the surface. And when she with Joey and Brayden, it's like, oh, fun. No,
Right.
ma'am. No.
And with Joey, I feel like while technically this is his first one on one, he did get a one on one after the kissing contest. Remember, so he has had
Yeah.
a long time with her,
Yeah.
and the questions, while yes, they're more serious because hometowns are next week, I feel like some of these questions should have been asked then.
Yes.
But so we move on. He says he misses her every time they're not together. And Charity says she's just comfortable with him and she has fun with him. And they do have some, like, it looks like lunch, and she's like, oh, she's sharing Louisiana cuisine with him, and he calls her his Southern Belle. And and she's like, he's just such a loving person. He's open. He's a great communicator. He feels safe. And I think for her, he feels safe because he does kind of, I don't want to say wears his emotion on his sleeve, but he's very open about his life, his feelings. Um, and so I think that's what we're seeing with him. He doesn't, whether it's fake or not, he's not holding back.
Right.
They go see a tarot reader, which I did not even pay any attention to because it didn't sound like she was giving them anything. So I doubt if whatever real reading she was giving them was real. Um, and
Again, she was telling very surface level stuff. Like it was
exactly, that's what I'm
surface
saying.
level. Everything was surface level.
Focus.
I was like, next.
Joey says is natural with her. Everything else, nothing else like it. And he's like, I can be myself, and just like being with her. Um, wait, what? Wait. Eh, I was. It was like I was walking around with my girlfriend, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's good because you should feel like your boyfriend or girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're dating somebody, and even in this time span they're seeing each other about a couple times a week, which is not bad. So
Right.
I think that's good, par for the
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Um, and he would be, I think, heartbroken if he. He's had his heart broken, but he's willing to risk it again because charity is worth the risk.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't stop kissing her, and I'm like, yes, we know this. I hate their kisses.
Yes.
Um,
Eminem kissing. Woo.
yeah.
Yes.
And they do sit down uh, with a poet, and the poet asked them really in-depth questions, and the
Mm-hmm.
answers were just flowing really easy, says Charity. And she basically are both saying that tonight it's important to really get to even more in-depth questions if they're going to meet families.
Right.
And she's like, um, she needs to ask him really important questions because he could be her husband, and they need to understand the challenges that they could face.
Hello. Interracial dating. Let's
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah. I can't even imagine her having approached Braden with these questions. Like,
Me, girl, me neither. And
although
I
I
didn't really
would
watch
not
that
be
season.
although I would not be shocked if Braden had already dated a person of color. Though, to be fair, I can more see him having had than Joey. I yeah. Um. So Joey is blown away by how natural he is, and he feels like she's a lucky girl. He's a lucky guy. Hometowns is next, and he has zero doubts. These are the things that are like red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Having zero doubts after 5 weeks, and you've never dated a black woman before, I'm concerned.
I'm concerned too. Exactly.
I'm concerned.
I'm concerned that you're not living in the reality that we're living in. Not saying that you don't really have feelings, but you're
Hmm.
not really taking all things into consideration of
Right.
the climate and the world that we live in. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm not saying he should have fears and doubts and be ready to run, but I feel like he should be have like he should have concerns of how things would look going forward.
Hmm.
And having rose-colored glasses when you have a partner who's a different race than you
Yeah.
is not it's not the thing that people think it is.
Right.
Like all lives mattering is not
Yeah.
how this is gonna work at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Um, so she does bring up at dinner interracial relationships and how that looks like. And so for her, she said in the past there was a lack of awareness, wasn't and the person wasn't ready for the pitfalls, what comes with it, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And she just wants to make sure he's aware and understands that there could be issues and downsides,
Right.
and also how is his family going to react, and
Yes.
um, that these things matter, and it should be taken seriously. And he does say I could ask a bunch of questions, but it won't be enough um, of an experience for me. And I'm just like, no, read a book, guy.
And he's basically like, I just won't know until I'm in it. Sir, no. Mm-mm. I need for you to prepare to be in it. You have to prepare for this. You have to prepare for this.
I don't feel like he's preparing enough.
Nope.
And he just said she does say that navigating her life as a black woman, it hasn't been easy. And he says um, he's he's ready to listen and learn. He wants to have kids, and he understood that it's important to see what could potentially be concerns. Um,
Hmm.
and then he says, "I never dated a black woman, but I know my family will be able to meet and understand because love is love." And I'm like, if you've never dated a black woman, that means you've never introduced your family to a black woman,
And
and
you
so
don't really know how they're gonna react.
you don't know how they're going to react. Whether
Yeah.
you have a gay father or not, having that does not exclude the potential for racism, unfortunately.
Exactly. And this is the other thing. Love is love. You know, people get
Right.
caught up in that love is love. Love is love, but it takes more than love to sustain
Hmm.
relationships.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yes.
have to live in the real world. It takes more than love to sustain real relationships. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. That's what it comes down to. Um, it's not it's not just love that's going to, and
Right.
she's trying to tell him this, and I'm not seeing that he's meeting her in the
He,
words that she's using at all.
mm-mm, he want to stay in La La Land.
Yeah, but he says his family if his family doesn't see the person that she is inside, that they're crazy. And we all know some crazy stories of family who don't see what their
Just
son or
because your
daughter.
family accepted that you moved to Hawaii, that is not the
Yeah,
same as accepting
no,
you bringing a black woman home, sir.
no,
It's not the same thing.
it's not. I But again, he thinks this is something that they can go through together.
Mm.
And Charity says it means a lot. It is scary. It's overwhelming at times. And she does say that Joey's fantastic, and she cries. Um, and I'm just like, those none of those things. Not to
And
say
she's
she
like,
shouldn't give him a
nobody's ever
rose.
made me cry like this.
I was like, not to say that she shouldn't give him a rose, but I don't feel like he answered any of those questions
What
adequately.
was she crying over? That's what I didn't get. She was like,
I don't know. And it could be editing. They might have edited this up down. Is it wasn't it Joey who said his dad came out as gay? Yes. Don't think they're on the conservative side. That doesn't matter.
no, and I'm gonna tell you, it really doesn't. People can be pro LGBTQ
Yeah,
and not pro interracial.
for dating.
People, you know what I mean? He can be gay and all of that stuff and still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like people can be transgender or whatever and still vote like a white man. You like Bruce Jenner or whatever. Like you're dressing as Caitlyn or whatever, but you still voting like you a white man and you still conducting yourself and you're not. You know, I mean, it just it doesn't matter. Like those
Voting
things
against your
are
own
not
interests. Yeah.
mutually inclusive. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Especially at a certain income level. It's like
right,
those things can get literally lost in translation
right.
because had Brian dated black women for Rachel Lindsay? I don't know. But again, Brian wasn't my pick for her. So I couldn't even tell you.
I don't know. I don't know if he had dated a black woman, but I think didn't he say he had dated a woman of color? I don't know if he had dated a black woman, but I think he said he had dated a woman of color. I
Mm.
don't know, but mm,
He wasn't my pick for her. So neither was I wouldn't say Peter was my pick for her. I just didn't understand some of the stuff that she was doing with Peter. Um I liked Eric.
mhm. I did too. I
I
liked
liked
him too.
Eric. He was
Hmm.
young, but I liked Eric.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Um and it really had nothing about do. I just liked his personality. I thought he was
Yeah,
sweet.
but I knew her and Brian had a connection though. I could tell
Oh,
it from
I
the it was so, you know, I just had my preference of who I had, but I knew their connection was very
strong.
undeniable. It was just
And that's what I said after the final rose. I was like, but it was always Brian.
hmm
And people were like, oh, but no, I think they were trying to make it seem like it was Peter. I said it was always Brian.
it was always
Brian got the better dates. Brian got the serious conversation. Like it was clear that it was always Brian.
yeah. And they doing good. They still together, so
Right.
hey.
And he is conservative.
Hmm.
He has donated to Republican, and that's, I think, back then a lot of people could date and marry Republican and Democrat and it not be a big deal. I think it's a bigger deal now.
Now,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Um, but she does give him the one-on-one rose, and he says he is falling in love with her, which he couldn't wait to tell her all day. And I do believe he thinks it. I do believe he thinks it. I,
mm.
I, I I'm just worried if he's her pick. they're gonna go through some things. She lives in
Please
the
don't let him be
South.
her bitch. Please don't. I just
They live
please.
in the South. Like people don't understand. It can be very concerning. It
Yes.
can be very concerning. And if you don't know how to handle, someone can get hurt if you don't know
Yes.
how to handle it.
Yes. She got some good quality black men. I'm sorry. I just hope that's not her bitch. I'm
Oh my
sorry.
god! So we do get the date card, and someone asks have they thought about his her date with Joey? X says no because they be kissing. I die laughing. Oh, and this is the other thing. People on this other thing that, oh, if he's not her pick, he should be the Bachelor, and I'm
Why?
just like,
He doesn't have.
why?
What has he done that's so impressive that makes
I
them
have
want him as the
no
bachelor?
idea. I do not know. They're like, oh, Joey's such a great personality, and I personally feel like it's because they want his dad to be on it because he's gay, and there's not been anyone gay been featured on the show, which is nice and
Oh
lovely. Um, but I don't feel like his personality has shined more than anybody else's on
no,
the season.
no, I don't think so.
So,
Nope.
um, so the date card does say that Sean and Tanner, time to get clarity. Meet me at the bayou. And
Mm,
Sean is pissed. Pissed.
yes.
Basically, their theory is they think that one of them will go to hometowns without a one-on-one, and one of
Right.
them will go
Be going
home.
home.
This is
Hmm.
a two-on-one,
Hmm.
and it's basically a two-on-one with no drama. A two-on-one between two people that seem to really respect each other,
Right.
and it just so it kind of takes the teeth out of the two-on.
Yeah, it does. Versus if it was like Braden and Xavier or something. You know what I mean? It would be different, but it was two people who, because the guys that are left all like each other. So it's kind of like,
So Tanner says his feelings are real for her, um, and and he thinks she could be the one for him. Sean is just lamenting how did they get here. He just wants it to be him and Charity. Um,
Sean is in denial. He don't know why he ain't got no one-on-one. He don't know why he on no two-on-one. He don't know why things are happening like this because he won that Ken Barbie challenge and they walked down on the beach and they got a connection and she should just know. Like he is in pure
he
denial.
knows.
He's like acting like
He
they
knows.
have this
Why
wonderful
doesn't she
connection.
know? He knows. Why does she not know? That's basically his thing. And God. So they wait. I don't know what I wrote here, but they do go on a swamp date, and she's hoping they have a good time. She doesn't know what's going to happen. I didn't take any notes of what they said on that boat.
All I know is that man was pure Louisiana. That swamp boat captain that was a
Hmm.
pure from the swamp of Louisiana. You hear me? His accent was deep. And at the end he said, if she don't pick neither one of them, there's me. There's the me she can pick. So that was funny, but it was
Yeah,
just them on
and
there looking
they
nice.
had the crawfish boil, and they asked the boat captain who he thinks she would choose out of the two men, and he's like, well, she was definitely giggling more with one over the other. And then that's when he said, if she don't pick either one, then there's me. I was like, there's you for her, there's you for them, because I don't, where we going with this? Where we going with this? Right. But she does end the date, and uh, for them to go get ready for the nighttime portion. She kisses Sean a lot. she calls Sean a sweet boy. She's like, he's so sweet. Why is he so sweet? And they go and they get dressed up. Um, and she's just kind of like, she doesn't want to send the wrong person home.
Yeah.
Like, it's uncomfortable, and she's like, the entire thing was uncomfortable, but they met it head on, so she appreciates that, but she just wants clarity. So she does ask at dinner time for Tanner to step away while she has a conversation with Sean. And he's like, he just wants, Sean is like, he just wants to be with Charity, and he just hasn't had a one-on-one time, so he
One.
just wants to maximize the time he has. Tanner's like, when on his time with her, I'm good. I have my guards up. This is serious. But I want a relationship, so I want to let my guards down. Um, and she does kind of agree with him. She's like, I get it. I'm the same way. So Dabu did say something here too about that, like, nope. I think that a part that there's a part of Charity that holds back because of past relationships with white men that didn't work, and
Hmm.
I think
Yeah, she's scared.
we're kind
She's
of
scared.
seeing that. We're kind of
Because
seeing
I
that.
think some stuff happened. I think some stuff happened. Not only did it didn't work, but I think some negative things happened as a result of them being in the interracial relationship, and she probably didn't feel as supported by her partner. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think
pretty
that's.
much. And then they go back to the other guys, and it's a date card again. And so Aaron B, X, Danton, and Joey are there. And Joey, I think Joey read the card, and it's
Yeah.
Danton got a date. And it's the first, apparently, in history where a person got a one on one date back to back.
Really? Mm.
And Aaron is pissed.
Pissed. Oh, girl, he was pissed.
He
Let me
was
tell
so
you something. That
mad.
man was pissed.
He's like, I don't understand. I'm actually here for charity. He
We in New
doesn't.
Orleans. It's my
He,
city. I can show her around.
he doesn't think this is fair. How could they? Blah blah blah. And I don't think he's blaming charity here. He really sounds like he's blaming the producers.
Do you think the producers encouraged her to have Tanner and Sean on that 201, or do you think she decided that?
I think if it was up to the producers, it would have been them and somebody else, and she would have handed out a rose. But I think for her, it it just made sense for it to be them too. I mean, because if you think about it, who, like, it wouldn't have made sense with anybody else. I feel like those were the two that she had the least connection with.
Right. Right. But I think it was like to have a rose on that date. Like, was she at any point in time, was she really thinking about handing out that rose, or did she already know, like, I'm bringing them out here, but I ain't gonna get nobody the rose because
I
you
definitely think that I don't see either of those guys. Maybe Sean. I could maybe see her maybe picking Sean instead of Aaron B. Maybe.
know, I don't know.
Because remember, just the same way that he's upset and pissed, they haven't had a date since
The
the first,
Hollywood.
yeah, the very first date.
That's
And
true.
so I can see her having doubts as well. Um,
That's
so,
true.
um, but this is unfair. Nola's his city. Charity basically cannot decide between Tanner and Sean, and does not hand out the rose. Grateful for them for understanding. Um, Tanner basically says she respects us both enough to give us more time.
Right.
Sean is like, I was banking on that rose before a rose ceremony. Tyler's like, he is spiraling.
Sean
Oh,
does not like not being picked. You got to pick
uh,
me. You got to pick me for the 101 or you got to pick me for the rose. You got to pick me.
there had to be some picking, and like it did not happen. So we do go to Dalton's date, and it okay. This is my problem with Dante's dates. I personally feel like with Dante's dates, the producers keep trying to fuck with him.
Why you say that?
Because why is he running a marathon on one of his dates? Everything is like an adrenaline rush with this man. I feel like they put him in uncomfortable situations and positions to try to like test him and like make him get either scared or upset or angry, and he just meets everything with like this beautiful smile.
Yeah, maybe they think because he's so tall, he comes across as athletic, and they think, oh, he can handle these things. I
Yeah,
don't know. You're right though. It's always something kind of like that. But he goes with the flow. One thing about him, he go with the flow.
he does. And so it's bright and early in the morning. Um, Picks her up. Uh, she does like a kind of hooju, but not a like a real
Right.
hooju because he's so freaking tall.
Yeah.
And they laugh, and she says she just wants to have fun. And she's like, I have some cute outfits, and she wants him to embrace the fun. So it's like last time the date was serious, right? And then this time they want him to
To
just
be
have
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
She's and the thing is, she says she doesn't even run. So that's what I'm saying. Like this got to be the producers.
Maybe they just said, "Oh, this will be a fun activity." Maybe they were like, "Oh, while we're in town, they're doing this, and this will be a fun activity." I don't
Period.
know because Aaron
Um,
knew about it and he was pissed again.
the Crescent City Run. You had to have it over there. That was hilarious, yo. He was pissed. He was so pissed. Like, how do you get mad because he ran a fucking marathon? I would never get mad. Oh, you got
That's
mad
his
about
city. That's
this?
his city. He's supposed to be doing
Yeah.
it.
You can keep the damn marathon.
Woo!
Nah. Um, so they do get into some Nola colored tutus, and um, Dante has a feather boa, and
Just go with the flow. That man just smiling. It's like, long as I'm with Cherry, I don't even care. Whatever y'all throw at me, it's like, woo,
yeah,
woo, woo.
and she's like, listen, we conquered a lot, but this time she wants him to see her goofy side, and she could see his fun side. Um, and he says he doesn't care as long as he's with Charity, and I
Yeah,
love that. As
yeah,
long
me
as she's
too.
involved, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
And then they go back to like Tanner and Joey's like the 2-on-1 wasn't weird. Um, it just she just needed more time. Sean to X, I'm sad, and now I'm even sadder because Dante got a 1-on-1 back to back. It's just like, oh my God, Sean.
Between him and Aaron, girl, they were bad.
Oh,
Okay.
they just spiraling, and it's like, I got no rose. I feel so insecure. I'm like, well, at least you know how you feeling. Like, I don't know because you bugging. Like, period. Um, and so they had mentioned it before, but Dante's like, oh, I can't wait for us to do our detour. So they do a detour where they pick up beer and they talk to people and they eat some food and they
Mhm.
eventually finish the marathon and they kiss and she says he pushed me and he said no, we pushed each other when she needed to be pushed. I pushed her when I need to be pushed. She pushed me.
When you look at them though, don't you know how Joy was like, "Oh, I feel like she's my girlfriend." But when I look at them, I actually do feel like they're in a relationship and they're girlfriend or boyfriend. I do
That's
actually
what
feel
I'm
like that.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I said when you think about girlfriend and boyfriend, I'm not thinking about her and Joey. I'm thinking
No.
about her and Dunton. And
Yep.
you know Xavier's my pick,
Right.
right? So Dunton is like the dark horse. But when
Right.
I see their connection, to me, that's her boyfriend
Right.
on this show right now. That's her man.
My man, my man, my man. Huh.
So I'm not seeing it with Joey. I'm not seeing
No,
it.
me
It could
neither.
be there, but I'm not seeing it. And so while yes, he has those feelings, I am not seeing it with
Right.
them.
Yeah, me neither.
Um, and so they're just happy to like basically just be together.
Uh-huh.
And he says he can't wait to have a heart to heart to her with her because he wants to tell her his feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And they do go into the nighttime person blast from start to finish. Person for you, too fast, heartbroken. What do you look for? Yeah. So basically, the conversation that they have, because I kind of tried to wrap it up. It was a lot, but it was a good conversation because he
Yes.
basically said he is embracing this situation the way he's embracing it
Mm-hmm.
because he's trying not to let his fear of failure
Yes.
screw them up.
Yes. That's a real thing. For a
Yes.
Virgo, that's a real thing. And especially
Well,
a Virgo
we see it with X.
man.
For Virgo man, he's on
Mm-hmm.
the other end of the spectrum. So
Right.
Dalton is like, fuck the fear. I'm
I'm gonna
just
go
gonna go
for it.
head on into it, and whatever happens, happens. And Xavier is like,
Nope, nope,
I
nope,
have
nope,
a
nope.
lot of fear.
Danger,
So
danger.
I'm going to tiptoe.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to tiptoe into this experience, take it for what it is. I'm going to communicate with her at every step how I feel, what I'm feeling, what I want, because I see it with us. But I'm not going to dive head on. So we
Right.
see two men
Right.
giving you two Virgos,
Yep.
giving you like two different versions of the same experience.
And the same experience. Because they both have those feelings. They're just
Yeah.
approaching them two different ways.
Yep. And so he says he just wants her to understand that he wants to embrace the fairy tale, and
That's so cute.
she agrees that she is just as terrified, and she is glad that he is embracing the fairy tale. um Tabu says, I'm so confused why Sean thinks that he and Charity had some struggle. So, I don't know. It was that Ken and Barbie thing. I
Girl,
don't
he just Dabu. He just trying to force it. He trying to force it. He trying to force it.
I don't know, man. It was just weird. Anyway, um, and then so Johnson gets the one-on-one date Rose, and
Did you feel like? Hold on, let me ask you this. When he told her, "I think I'm falling in love with you," she was okay compared to when like you know how Joey said it, and yes, she was crying, but when Dalton said it, she looked so overjoyed. I felt like she was fighting back the urge to tell him, "Me
I love
too,
you.
me
Yeah, yeah,
too,
yeah, yeah.
me too."
Because
You know what I'm saying?
she even says, I can't describe how he makes me feel because I don't think she's allowed to.
Right, right, right. Yes,
Because I don't think she's allowed to.
exactly.
So she, like, I think she still has the same feelings for him, but she
Me
can't say
too.
it because she's not allowed to. Um, and so then there's another date card, and the remaining guys have to go on this one-on-one date. So a four-person date, and
Aaron is pissed. Aaron
Paris
is
is
pissed.
God is pissed. If Dante comes back with a rose, that's two. That means there's only two roses for this date. How dare she? And Dante comes waltzing in. Listen.
all tall, having to duck to get in the door. They like,
And Sean's like, there it is. And he basically just freaks out and leaves. He just freaks out and leaves, man. I don't know, man. Aaron's like, I'm from NOLA. Somebody asked him though, but
I mean, is it written in Bachelor or Bachelorette history that if y'all go to a city where you from, you got to get a date? Because he is offended. He is offended.
um, and they're just all upset. They're all stunned in silence. And at this point, Sean is over it, and he basically goes to see Charity.
Girl, he mad. He
He
mad now. Now I got to go on a four. Now I got to go on a 4-person date.
Well, he helped them make it a 3-person date, and his ass was like, "No, I'm gonna go see Charity. She best to give me a rose now." And he wants answers, and she's
Uh-huh.
like, "Okay, I tried to give you time, but we're here."
Right.
She's like, I basically she didn't feel the same way as him,
Right.
and she
And I
basically
don't
said
think I
she
can
got
get
there.
there. I
Yeah,
don't think I can get there.
I just think that she just didn't want to break his little heart,
Me too.
and yeah. So next thing we see, they're both crying too, by the way. But next thing we see, the guys meet on the trolley car. Tanner, Xavier, and Aaron. Um,
I did want to see their reaction to Sean leaving. I did miss that part. I wanted to see how they like knew he took off and went there, and then all of a sudden somebody come back and get his luggage, and they like, wait a minute. I did want to see that, but oh well.
like what happened? Like, did he have to pack his shit before he actually went to her room?
And then Tanner like, see, that's why I ain't going down there making no ultimate. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her have her time.
Oh my god. Anyway, she says she's going in open minded, and with an open mind and an open heart. She has 2 roses. That means I want to meet your family, and she's just again afraid that she could make the wrong decision. Um, and she does tell him, "I'm going to have to say goodbye to one of you today," and that's terrifying.
Mhm.
So she just give each one of their time. So Sean basically helped these guys out because
Right.
he gave them first. And so she pulls Aaron first, and he basically gives her his spiel. This has been the hardest week of his life. He hasn't had time since the beginning. Um, he's like, watch these guys come and go with the post charity glow. But he is still here. He's still invested. He wants to get married at the end of this, and he sees Charity as his person. Tanner and X are saying they expect Aaron to get one of those roses.
Yeah.
They don't even think it's it's impossible that he's
Yeah.
not. And she does say, "I have a certain feeling about each guy."
Mm.
She doesn't tell us what that certain feeling is.
Yeah.
Okay, tell
I know. What is your
tell
feeling, girl?
what's your feeling?
What you feeling?
But we get a Tanner 101. She's like, the scary thing is that the first 101 would be with my family. The thing is, we have seen that happen.
Yeah.
So, Tanner, you ain't special. If that had happened, that would have been something special that's happened before. And then X to Aaron, it is scary to think about marriage and all those feelings of wanting to fall in love with her. Um,
But did you
and
see how Aaron looked at him when he said that? Like,
well, he didn't go run and tell Charity, so thank
no, he
you.
didn't go run and tell, but he felt away. Like, I'm not scared. What you scared? You know what I mean? It was kind of
Yeah, but
like,
that's why I'm saying that, like Aaron, I the crew Aaron runs with makes me skeptical of him. That
yeah,
being said, it's also possible that he really did. He says he came on this experience for charity. He
right,
knows people in the Bachelor universe. they could have been telling him, "Oh, like you would be so good for this girl. You should go on the show,"
Right.
or they could be telling him, "Go on the show just for fame." I
Right.
don't know, so I can't say he's being disingenuous. I do feel like he really thinks that their first date, was a really good date.
It was. Yeah, it
It
really
was
was.
a good date.
And he thinks they come from similar backgrounds. So he feels
Right.
like the connection is there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think he would waste his time bringing her to his parents, who's been married for 50 odd years, and he
Yeah.
would not
Yeah.
think, just for TV.
Yeah. I don't think so either. Yeah.
Um, but X says our X. Oh, this is X being pulled by Charity. So Charity says our chemistry is crazy. Um, and I'm sure about you. And X says, I know you have no time to waste, and I have no time to waste. And I do want to say it is scary for me to commit to one person. And she asks why. And he's like, because the unknown. I've never done it. And I want to do it but right the first time. I don't want to ever, I want to do it once. And I want to do it right.
Right.
And he said, he wants to get married. He wants to get
Yeah.
engaged. He wants all of that.
Yeah. I think he wants what his parents have. I think he really
Yeah.
wants that. Yeah.
Yeah. He just has to decide if it's Charity. And he wants to fall in love with her. But he's not there yet. But he feels he can get there. He just doesn't want to pass up the chance if she is his person.
Right.
And I appreciated this speech, not just because it came from Xavier, because this is this is similar to what Braden was trying to say, but he was making it about him only.
Right.
And X is saying everything in the correct manner,
Right.
right? Are you my person? Because it has to be as much about her being his person
As
as much
him
as
being
it's
her. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. But
I
the
want to
difference
make
is
sure of
he
that.
wanted to get there though. He wants to get there though.
Yes.
Braden didn't want to. He want to have fun. He don't care
Yeah.
if he gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we said, I think it's that, you Virgos, y'all like your perfectionism. You
Yes.
want things just so. Us Tauruses do sometimes too. That's that you know.
That's that earth sign. You want
That's
to be
that,
grounded. You don't want
yeah,
to. Yeah. You
yeah.
know.
We don't want to. We again, Charity, Capricorn. She don't want to pick the wrong person. She doesn't want to make
Exactly.
that mistake. She wants to make sure that she's thought through the entire thing, which is why I said I do really do think she was like, oh hell no, these two guys have to come on this date because I don't know which one of them I would choose.
Right.
So it makes sense, which is why I say I feel like there's only a couple of people in this experience who are actually meeting this experience in the correct
Mhm.
manner.
Right.
Aaron, it's just a little over the top for me. I'm just not sure if it's idealism or fame.
Mhm.
'Cause it could be idealistic, like everybody says she's great for me. She would be right for me. We could have what
Mhm.
my parents have. Soup it up in his head.
Right.
Or it could be I got to do all of this to get to the end for fame.
Right. So
I don't
my
think,
boys don't tell me what to do, and I want to be like the crew. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
Dabu thinks she knows which one it is.
That boo tickles me. I love her. So
But
authentic.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that it could be either one. But listen, he said all the right words because Charity
Yeah.
absolutely does give him the rose, the
Yep.
one-on-one rose that the guys do seem a little upset, especially Xavier. He does say, "I am upset. I feel like when I'm honest about my feelings to a woman, it makes them run away from me."
Right.
And he's like, "I want to be with Charity." He wants to take her to his hometown, and I feel like he he communicates exactly what he's feeling, and I think it's just fear doesn't it didn't ground her, and she needed grounding.
Yeah, because it's scary for her too, because
Right,
it's a short process. And
right,
she is also jaded and she doesn't want to keep somebody around if she's fearful that they're not going to get there and she's trying to get there. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's not that you're being punished for your honesty, but because you should always be honest in every situation, but you also don't get a cookie for being honest. And just because you're honest doesn't mean that your honesty is is going to make me pick you, because that might just have solidified the fact that we're not on the same level, even though I don't
right,
think that's the case. But I
right.
don't like it when people say, oh, every time I'm honest,
I'm
you
honest.
know
I
what I
gave
mean?
you. I
Yeah, I don't
told
like
you.
when they do
Yeah,
that. Like,
me either.
so what you gonna do, lie next time? No, just be
Yeah,
honest.
let's be honest, but you have to take in your honesty what comes with that.
Right, right,
Um, and so I do feel like it wasn't the wrong decision. Aaron is meeting Charity where she needs him to meet him. Joey, same thing. Dunton, same thing. Xavier is saying he's trying to get there. So you trying to get there does not give you the rose automatically.
right.
Just doesn't. Tanner says he's confident in their connection.
That's all you can say.
That's all. Um, she is basically leaving for the evening to make a hard decision. Tanner and X start getting ready for this rose ceremony. So we still see Charity kind of just talking over like this whole rose means a lot. Like somebody's got to get down on one knee in 3 weeks, um, and she doesn't want to be picking the wrong person,
Yeah,
but she also needs to do what's in her heart. Um, so she says she knows what to do, and she goes to Tanner's room. And at this point, I knew she was dismissing him.
right. Yeah, me too.
Um, and Dabu says, "Why didn't Charity send Tanner home? She knew he wasn't going to go to hometown twice." I think she might have had a feeling, but I again at that point I don't think it made sense to send him home from there. Like she wasn't going to give X the rose right there. I think she had to think about it because when she says what she says to him, like basically, I don't even have to give you this rose if I don't want to.
Right.
Um, it makes a little more sense. But she does dismiss him. She says she just doesn't think that they could get there. There's just not enough time. Um, and
And
which
he
is
took it
understandable. He
real
seems like
well.
a
He's a
great guy.
gentleman. He's a
Yeah,
gentleman. He took it real
yeah.
well.
They just don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Not in this process. And she does then go to Axe, and it's so funny because they're both dressed up, and she's wearing like this just comfortable sweater.
Right.
And she looks so cute with those still dressed up. But um, he does ITM and says if she does not give him the rose, he would be crushed. And I believed her.
Because he looked scared when he opened the door and saw her and she wasn't
Yeah,
dressed up.
yeah,
I could feel like he was
yeah,
trying to cover it, but I could
yeah.
feel like his heart was like,
Oh
what's
my God,
going
why
on
is she
here?
here? Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Um, and she said she was on the fence, but she's gonna trust her heart and her um and gut and what she's feeling right now. And she does tell him she sent Tanner home. And she does say, I have one more rose left, but truthfully, I don't have to give out this rose.
Right.
Um, but I want to. I want you. I want to meet your family. I believe in our connection. And our one-on-one time really opened my eyes to the man that you are. And will he accept it? He said yes. And he said, I know it's going to sound crazy, but I'm ready.
Oh,
And she said that they have something special that is undeniable. It's so crazy. It's like she's saying similar words with Dalton and Xavier that she to me she's not saying the
say
same
with
words with
Eric and
Joey.
Joey. Yeah.
She's not.
She's
And
not
with
saying them to
Aaron,
Aaron or Joey. She's
she,
not saying
and with Aaron, she's barely saying anything.
them.
It's all him. It's
Mhm.
all him. Um, and so I do feel like still that Danton and um, X are her strongest connection,
Mhm.
and it does feel like that one-on-one date did him the best service. So
Mhm.
it's like while he doesn't think that what he's said to her, his open honesty and communication has helped him, it actually has, because
Yes. Yeah.
I don't, if they had not had that time, it would have literally been down to him and Tanner. And I could see her being like, X is too much like my past
Right.
relationships.
Right.
I'm going to choose Tanner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too, and I think I don't know, like Johnson, like having your hometown is like having another one-on-one date, right? So it's
Yes.
kind of like going to be like three one-on-one dates, like back to back, right?
Yes.
I'm so excited to see this Nigerian culture like
Yes.
shown on TV to see how she integrates like when she goes to see his family and to see like how this connection could be even more solidified because I really feel like he is the person that she wanted to tell him to like me too. You're falling, but I'm falling too. Like
Yeah.
I think she really, really at this point cares about him. Not saying that she doesn't care about the others, but I think like her heart skips a beat. Like, ooh, this could be my
He
man.
just
Like, my man, my man.
he's a dark horse. He just is not, you just expecting something different, and he's giving her something that she needs every single
Right.
time. And
Every
so
single
when
time.
you're getting that, you come into a process and you're not expecting something like that, you're going
Hmm.
to keep, you have, like, you have no choice but to fall for it.
No choice.
No
No
choice
choice.
but to fall for it.
No
I,
choice.
and you see it all the time, whether it will last or work. Like, even you watch Love Island UK, right?
Yeah.
So like, even with a Whitney and a Locken, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
just that person being able to see you for who you are every
Yep.
time,
Every
and
time.
communicating with you, like, every time effectively,
Hmm.
about who, like, what they want, and that person is you, and praising you and giving you all the rich words that you need, as well as the physical input into it.
Yeah.
It just is, there's nothing you can't, like, no matter if you
No,
have
because
your
they speak
guard
to your
up.
soul. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a soul connection. Like it's
Yeah.
you can't deny it. It's like,
No.
yeah.
So that is it. Like I said, the episode was a little slow because we had that 2-on-1, and I was just like, what, like, can we give up the ghosts and send these poor white men home? um this is also a factor. This is also a factor. It's possible. I won't put it past.
I agree. I don't think you will either.
Yeah.
But I know I Dalton will.
Johnson will. Joey will.
Yeah.
Aaron B will.
Yep.
Yep. And unless Aaron B is hiding something, and that's the only.
That's the only thing. It's like it's like this little thing in the back of my head. It's like something's askew. Something everything is not as it appears to be. Like it's just there's something in the back of my head that keeps saying that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All
But
right, guys. But
I'm
I
excited about
mean,
next week.
I'm excited. Next week, hometowns. We got how many? One, two,
Four.
three black mamas that we're
Yep.
probably
Yep.
gonna see, and a gay dad.
And
So
again,
listen,
so
guys,
this will be interesting because Black
this will
Mama's
be
gonna play about
interesting.
their boys, honey.
Yeah.
Been
Um,
there.
and so I'm excited, but like, we literally, guys, we are. I think it's just what, 8 weeks
3 weeks away,
away.
right? It's just 3 weeks
Yeah,
away.
she said it
You
was
got
3 weeks
hometowns, then
away.
you're gonna have fantasy,
She's
then you're gonna
sweet.
have final two, right?
Yeah. So, wow, guys, like, the show's almost done,
Yep.
and I do feel like she could potentially have her husband here. I
Me
do
too.
see it.
Me
And I'm here for it. I'm still here. I'm still trying to stay unspoiled. Do not spoil me. That's all I'm asking.
I don't want to be spoiled either. I mean, I want to be spoiled by a man, but no spoilers about the show.
Yeah. Anything you're up to, Miss T Joy?
No, I'm just trying to get back in the swing of things. I got to catch up on stuff. Girl, I was gone, and the hotel don't be having Peacock and carrying on, so I got
Oh,
to catch up on my USA Love Island and stuff. And I did see the Big Brother 25th episode, and then I saw the whole teaser today. So I'm so excited about that next week. I'm gonna be watching you review it. That's gonna be exciting. And
yeah.
no, I just need to catch up on some stuff. Get up to
So, as always, follow me on all social media platforms at Entertainment Color. And as Miss TJ says, I will be back in a couple hours to review and recap Love Island USA on Peacock. Um, Tonight there's going to be a dumping, and I recap every night at 10:15 after the show, so you can join me there for if you're watching Love Island USA. It streams on Peacock uh, Thursday through Tuesday. Off on Wednesday. I do not stream on Saturdays because that is Unseen Bits, which is a clip show, so just outtakes of the show. And I did start my Big Brother coverage with Janelle. So we did do a review and recap of the Big Brother 25th anniversary special. It is up on my YouTube channel now. If you haven't watched it, go check that out. And we will be back sometime next week with our first episode for Big Brother. We're gonna try to stream on like Wednesdays and Saturdays. This Wednesday I will not be streaming Big Brother because I will be at the Big Brother premiere party in New
Woo! Let the people know.
for Oz's House Chops event with most of the Big Brother 24 cast and some other people. And so I will, if you guys follow me on my social media, I might go live and share some videos.
Oh, please go
Um,
live. I want to see.
yeah, and share some stuff in my story. So definitely follow me there. And then Janelle and I will meet up sometime next week to discuss like the first few episodes of the show. Maybe do cast pick draft, and then both of us will be in Detroit for the premiere show and for the what live watch that they're doing in Detroit for
When is that?
Oz's house shop, August 10th.
Okay.
So we will both be in Detroit on Thursday. I will be traveling on Wednesday, so we will figure out our timing for these Big Brother shows. But then after that, we should be on schedule. So I'm excited. She's excited,
I'm excited
and
for
we
y'all.
will be back for the Bachelorette sometime next week. Probably Tuesday, hopefully. And I'm not sure because either we have to see what Chantel's schedule's like because we're behind on Love Island UK.
Oh,
But we
okay.
will figure that out and let you guys know. So, but the best way to keep up with it, subscribe,
Yes.
so
Subscribe, and
you
then you'll
know
know
whenever I go live.
when I'm
Yes.
down.
So, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Deb Boo,
Thank
as
you.
always. Uh, let's see. Whose hometown do you think will be messy? Joey's dad looks like
He knows
something.
something
But
exactly.
somebody
He
said it
said.
wasn't
He said, "Do
bad. It
you
was
know
an
the real
uncle.
Joey?" He said something like, "Have you seen the real Joey or something?" Yeah,
Yeah.
I think his
So
is going to be the messiest dude.
yeah, that's gonna be funny. So we'll see. But yes, thank you guys for joining, and we will see you later.
Bye.